play of the game from way down.
Two, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob says Nico gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. Tonight we've got another replay cast here for you between Who Knows Gaming and Deviled Keggs. Division B West here. And we'll come back to the standings when we're all done since this is a replay cast. I don't want to give anything away. But let's take a quick look at our maps. What we had for the bands, where we're going first. We got started off here with Who Knows Gaming banning out the Towers of Doom and Cursed Hollow, with Deviled Keggs banning out Dragonshire and Battlefield of Eternity. And our first game going to be on Sky Temple. It was the selection of Who Knows Gaming. And you know what? It's all ready to go. We don't have a draft, so we're going to get right into it. Alrighty, on the left, it's going to be Who Knows Gaming. Oh, let me get the pop-ups here. There we go. Alright, so on the left, Who Knows Gaming, we've got Mizos on Varian, Shinkaigen on the Mephisto, Wolf on Johanna, Crazy Buttes there on Alex Raza, and Lupa64 on Zagara. And over here to the right, it's going to be Deviled Keggs, Michaelin on the Zeratul, Django on Lunara, VZ on the Oriole, Ravenex playing Blaze, and good old Sir Watson II on Rexar. I almost said Blaze because it didn't occur to me that Rexar and Blaze have a very similar body style when you've got the right skin on. Huh. I mean, other than the lack of flamethrowers, Rexar and Blaze could be interchangeable there with those colors. But anyways, all right, so checking this out. So as a reminder here, talent's going to be at the top of the screen since this is an on an old patch. So we don't have our standard replay UI. And this is what it looks like otherwise. So we'll check in on these talents every once in a while. Varian going into High King's Quest there, Skull Missile build for Mephisto. And of course, Varian doesn't do quite as much until level 4, so we'll have to keep an eye on how those things go for him. Now up at the top lane, we're going to see Zagara versus Rexar. And Rexar kind of just saying, you know, I can't really fight out there against Zagara. So instead, going to hang out near the wall, gather the soak here, keep the minions pushed back, try to limit how much damage Zagara and the minions can do overall. Did take Swoop here, Bird of Prey at level 1, so it's going to help to clean up the lane a little bit faster when they get close to that wall. Both teams going to pick up their siege camp on their quest to get to those level 4 talents. And again, we're going to see here Shinkaigen just using that Shade of Mephisto to zip in, get some damage, and get out. 4 stacks so far on the Shade, where it's 4 as well for Ravenex on the Blaze. And the siege camps here just kind of hanging out. They clear out the minion waves, and both teams coming down now. Right now, Who Knows Gaming gonna get a little bit of the advantage. They'll clear out the siege camp on the side of Deviled Keggs a little bit faster. And here comes Varian. He's going to go into Twin Blades. So going into that Fury spec. Got the double blades available to attack a little bit faster. Has the faster auto attack speed. More heroic strikes as part of that as well. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze, but it maybe went away? I don't know, it's hard to tell. Alright, the first temple's coming up. Both teams sitting at level 5 on their way looking for level 7. Varian, of course, looking for that second win He's got that better self-sustain. At level 7, he could, in theory, even take a boss solo. It'll take him about 4 hours, but he could do it. So Lupus is going to go ahead and head back on Zagar there. Michaelin also fairly low on the health, but is going to come back into the team. And we'll see, where do they put the priority for these? Uno's Gaming going to pick up the Bruiser camp so that they can have that going in the lane. But both of the temples so far are being channeled by Devil Keggs. Rexar able to send Misha up and hold on to that point for a little while. Zagar going to head in there as well, though. And now both of the temples are going to go over to Uno's Gaming. So Rexar going to work on trying to stall out and damage the Bruiser camp coming in. But Lunara getting very low here. Mephisto going to get a little bit of damage in addition, although Oriel able to keep Lunara just fine and healthy. So the mid temple now completed. I think ultimately more shots went over to Uno's Gaming on combined total out of these. Can Misha finish this off? Might be able to finish off the Zagara, especially with the jet propulsion coming in. The Q heal coming in from Crazy Buttes, but just not enough. And Zagara going to be the first blood of this game. A little over 4 minutes into the game before first blood. Not super common. Let's check in on those quest talents here. So Zagara also, in addition to taking Infest for that additional siege damage, we're going to see at level 10 or 4 here, Serrated Spine. So basic attack damage increasing over time. 16, so just under halfway for the Skull Missiles. Now, keep in mind at 20, Skull Missile gains a big boost of damage. It's 20 is the boost of damage, 40 is the cooldown reduction. So hitting people with that Q, that Skull Missile, becomes pretty important. Getting additional cooldown reduction, which already plays into his Lord of Hatred, which also reduces his ability cooldowns, makes it so that if you hit somebody with a Skull Missile, generally 2 people, I think it resets to almost 0. Like maybe 1 second, but at that point you're still basically chain casting it. Especially if you're able to also get some with your Lightning Nova. So, alright, we've got the Wisp here that was providing vision, so saw Varian coming up there. Zeratul zipping away. And Varian looking for the Ariel here. Jet Propulsion coming out. Missing the target, so Varian again has that parry, so he's able to take reduced damage by just negating auto attacks. But it's important to keep in mind too that Lunara, while she stacks that damage over time because of her auto attack, she still does that damage over time. So it's not quite 0. He still is going to take some damage, but does have the second wind, right? Yes. Okay, just making sure. And Zeratul coming in, ends up pulling the boss with that blink in. And our ultimates are now available. So we've got the Leaping Strike from Lunara. That gives her that Unstoppable too. That's really helpful. It's going to be Resurrect for Ariel. And this is the pre-nerf version of Resurrect. Void Prison for Zeratul. Let's actually see which version of this was. 3-second delay, 1 second cast. Okay. And it's got that reduced range. So she's actually got to be a little bit closer. Let's see. Rexar hasn't picked his yet. And ultimately Combustion for the Blaze. So I expect we'll see Boars for Rexar. Meanwhile, on the other side for Uno's Gaming, we've got the Lifebinder. Varian going into Warbringer. So he's going to have the reduced cooldown, right? Isn't that reduced cooldown? Yeah, it reduces cooldown and the mana cost, but also he can charge to allies. So that's actually really helpful here. Zagara getting the Zeratul caught in the maw. But I don't know if she can make it out. She does. Okay, fair enough. And Zeratul instead gonna have to use the Void Prison here defensively. Now going back in, looking for the cleave, but ends up getting stunned by Johanna there with the Blessed Shield. We've got the Consumed Souls gonna land and kill off the Zeratul. Lifebinder coming out as well. Rexar going to lose the Misha here as Mephisto getting stunned. Does rubber band right back with his Shade of Mephisto, so he's going to stay nice and healthy. So we saw the Consumed Souls, we saw the Lifebinder, we saw the Maw, and the Blessed Shield. So I called all those things out. But it's back to soaking lanes for Zeratul, as now Devil Keggs slightly behind in the XP here. You see the pings calling out to come down into bot lane, clear this up. Starting to get a little pressure here, and the catapults will mount and eventually keep pressure into that lane toward that keep. Gonna potentially take out that keep wall, so they got to get down there and clear it. Zeratul having to blink away as a rotation from 3 coming out from Who Knows Gaming, causing a bit of a dangerous circumstance there for the, what are they, Protoss? Is that what Zeratul is? And now in 20 seconds, we're going to see the next temples activate. Top and bot. But both teams do still have their structures up, their forts in the mid lane. So it doesn't matter where they go necessarily. We're not going to see any keep damage here from Who Knows Gaming. If they take bot, it'll go to mid. So actually, they're going to take out the mid fort. Get extra value out of those tower shots, out of the temple shots. Zeratul coming in has the Void Prison just on the Alexstrasza, so they're looking to try to take somebody out here. Combustion coming out from Blaze, but he's got that healing penalty from Varian. The leaping strikes getting value, but not enough, as the Lifebinder going to come out and save Varian at the last moment there. Raven X getting pacified and is going to fall here. Consumed Souls looking for Michaelin, but I don't think it's enough now thanks to that heal, but they instead get anyways, they get the shot from Alexstrasza and gonna get the kill onto Lunara. So Rexar does have boars, so he sent those out after Zagara, so she uses the Devouring Maw. The rest of the team coming up, so they are looking for the kill onto this Rexar. Able to get a lot of damage onto him, and maybe looking to finish this top fort as well. And with that, Varian's in the bot lane, so they're going to be able to take out this top fort. But with Zagara and Varian, they're going to start working damage into these keep walls. And so I mentioned it earlier that these shots were not going into keeps. Well, now they are, because they were patient and were able to take out those towers, take out those forts. Varian going to wisely back away here, as a pretty strong response from Devil Keggs coming in, but the cavalry has returned. Zagara's still up top, but so is Rexar. So this is as even of a fight as you're going to get for either team, except Zeratul's not here. I don't know that they know that though. Lunara going to leaping strike out. Blaze going to hit the jet propulsion. Also pops off the combustion, but didn't seem to really have any damage there for a moment. It took a moment for that to actually activate, a couple moments after it exploded. So Who Knows Gaming heading up, they're going to head to this boss, and again, they've got the Varian, so Varian can tank this 100% without taking really any significant damage. And I'm pretty sure that Devil Keggs knows this. But Zeratul heading up and instead saying, let's get the kill onto Zagara. They do finish that. Now, there are temple shots to be had. It's not going to get a lot, but at least they can make sure that it doesn't go into their own keep. And the boss is going to head in. Only the one tower left up, so the boss will be able to do a pretty significant amount of damage, aside from, you know, if they pick up the additional shots, which they should. And with the siege camp here, looking to get what they can out of this bottom keep. I don't think they get very far. With the siege camp, with the boss, they're all done with the tower shots here. I think that this keep goes down maybe 10%, roughly. Maybe a little bit more, 15, 20, 20%, roughly. I like this call right here. So this is outside of vision of this tower. So you can see right here, like, this is basically the area, and you can see they just barely skate by that. Now, oop, wrong one. There we go. So the point of all that was Devil Keggs probably had an idea that that's where Who Knows Gaming wanted to go, right? The entire team was down here cleaning up the boss, making sure it didn't get keep damage. So the aggressive play was the right call for Who Knows Gaming. So it would have been probably difficult for Devil Keggs to respond to that other than to just simply clear it. But here's the vision now. Zeratul able to scout. Now Varian knows Zeratul's here, right? He just bumped into him. Alexstrasza bumped into him as well, so they had to have that idea. Here comes the Consumed Souls. There's the shield coming out, so Michael is gonna get taken out here. Raven X also very low, is gonna get caught by the Devouring Maw. I think he goes down with that. He does. He dies to the Devouring Maw. And Oriel using the Resurrect to bring back Zeratul. Big VP there in the back line, but not quite enough to get any kills here. As without their without their Blaze, they're really kind of stuck without having any significant frontline. The Misha being the only option there. And now the next round of temples just can be a single temple up in the top lane, but there's no wall. This temple will go straight into the top keep. It's going to hit the well first, but then on to the keep. So level 20 is only a half a level away for Who Knows Gaming. So we'll see. We've got everybody alive. Zeratul's coming up. Blaze is coming up. We got the Wisp from Lunara providing vision, or at least coming up to help provide vision. There goes Mephisto into the team, gets the jet propulsion hit, so he gets stunned. Blessed Shield missing, but Raven X very low here. Also has the healing reduction. Pacify coming out, so not a lot of damage coming from that jet propulsion there, but it's going to be Zeratul jumping in. He gets caught. Lifebinder going out as everybody's so extremely low on the side of Who Knows Gaming, but it doesn't matter. Lunara gonna fall, as is the Zagara. Never mind, actually. We're gonna see just death all over the place here, as Blaze also going to fall. So it's just Johanna and Alexstrasza, and what I meant to say was it's just Johanna, as Devil Keggs pulling off hard here. They've got, they did that down level 20s. And as we can see, I mean, level 20s are just now being picked here for Who Knows Gaming, but it was a perfect time for Devil Keggs to be able to generate the activity that they needed to. So for level 20s here, Zagara going into Fury of the Storm. That's going to help her for her siege. Glory to the Alliance along with the Banner of Dalaran is going to provide near constant uptime for that banner. 20% spell power. And then with Glory to the Alliance, that's 50% healing received. So that's absolutely huge, especially for your healer, right? 50% extra healing received, 20% extra spell power. Like, it's just so great. Also going to be the Ritual of Life, so multiple ticks of that Gift of Life, or rather that Lifebinder, rather. Gift of Life, I think, is the Q. Let's see. Radiating Faith going to be the pick here for Johanna, so she's going to have the additional bounces and duration. And then the Mimic here, going to be able to get those extra lightning novas coming out from Mephisto's Shade. Meanwhile, for Devil Keggs, they've got the upgraded combustion. It's going to be flash fire, so that's additional slow while you're close. Not even like, that's just 60% slow when you're within his radius. Going to be the kill command for Boars, getting that additional root. The spell return to health, mending, shadow mending. But it's going to be Mephisto getting so much value out of that lightning nova here. Consumed Souls also popping off, gets the kill onto Oriel. The Zeratul coming in with the VP, but it's going to be Lunara. I'm sorry, it's going to be Alexstrasza getting that Lifebinder out. So able to survive as Zeratul and Blaze will both go down. The Resurrect, I think, must have had been used because there were 4 kills there. So it's just Lunara and Rexar now left alive as the boss picked up by Who Knows Gaming, and they're making their way over here looking for this bottom keep. They should be able to take it out, and then they've got a full boss. I don't know that there's much that Zagara and Rexar are going to be able to, I'm sorry, Lunara and Rexar are going to be able to do about this. 17 seconds until Ariel. Zeratul 20 seconds away, as is Blaze. And the boss isn't even at the court yet. On its way, and this is looking very strong here for Who Knows Gaming. The Shade of Mephisto with that Mimic, getting just so much damage coming out from that ability. And we do see here, like, Lunar is trying her best, but it's just not enough. Game number 1 between Who Knows Gaming, Devil Keggs, going to go over to Who Knows Gaming. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get set up for game number 2. It takes a few moments here because we have to actually load it all the way out. But let's see. So game number 2 is gonna be played on Braxis Holdout. Waiting for this. There we go. Just waiting for the system. Gotta catch up, guys. All right, this is the map pick of Who Knows Gaming as well. Alright, there we go. Got it all loaded. Okay, Braxis Holdout. So how you guys doing tonight? How's everybody doing out there? It's Saturday night. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on in your life while I put in these heroes. Thumbs up. It is a nice shirt, isn't it? All right, there we go. Yeah, you can't really tell from where the camera is, but it is. Okay, so no draft. All right, so maps, checking in once again. Who Knows Gaming selected game number 1, Sky Temple. It was Who Knows Gaming that won that. Game number 2 on Braxis Holdout. It's going to be selected by Who Knows Gaming as well. Game number 2. I think I said game number 1, but game number 2. Our bands coming out from Who Knows Gaming were on Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom. And Devil Keggs banning out Dragonshire and Battlefield of Eternity. All right, there we go. Let's get into this game number 2, Braxis Holdout between Who Knows Gaming and Devil Keggs. All right, on the left, it's Who Knows Gaming. We've got Shinkaigen playing Kel'Thuzad, Wolf on the Mal'Ganis, Lupus 64 on Malthael, Bezos on the Orphea, and Crazy Buttes playing the Lucio. And on the right, we got Devil Keggs. We got Django playing Gul'dan. We got Sir Watson playing the... Did I do this? Right? Yeah? Yeah, I did. Okay. We got Michael in playing Greymane, Raven X on Johanna. Sir Watson once again playing the Rexar, and VZ on the Malfurion. So maybe looking for Deviled Keggs here to try to sneak up and get the kill onto this Malthael. As really everybody kind of staying hidden. And instead of getting a kill on the Malthael, they've got the Greymane. They're instead going to use Misha to soak up some tower shots and see if they can't get this tower down. The full rotation coming up from Who Knows Gaming, though, as Johanna getting very low. And Kel'Thuzad instead popping off hard with that combo. 2 deaths right out of the gate here. But you know what? The tower's down. So Deviled Keggs has that value. So for the rest of the game, that is in their favor now. A little bit better structure value. And I don't think I can show... Wow, it doesn't even do that. Okay, well, then never mind. So I can't even show, like, the XP. I wonder if it shows up here. No, it doesn't show up here either. So it doesn't show the XP difference, but you see, there's really not that much XP difference between the teams. Pretty close. I agree, Alice. Thank you for that commentary. So once again, we've got Deviled Keggs primarily up in the top lane. So the rotation coming up maybe from Who Knows Gaming, but instead they're going to stop and get their siege camp, as so did Deviled Keggs. So that's going to go up there with the Rexar. But Shinkaigen will actually get the point control there. So that's going to give blue team the channel getting started, 28% so far. And it's important to keep in mind here as well that you get a minimum, but there's also checkpoints. And once you get to a certain point, you get a certain percentage, basically no matter what. So Kel'Thuzad getting another stack here. Johanna using the Iron Skin and Michaelin just barely able to get away. Mal'Ganis was trying to catch up. But checking in on Kel'Thuzad stacks. Let's see, where does it show? 9 out of 30, because we can't check that even here. It doesn't show those trade quests here. Level 4 is available for both teams, as the Bruiser camp here pushing in the bot lane for Deviled Keggs. 72% on the channel, though, for Who Knows Gaming. So, channel officially started now for Deviled Keggs, so they're going to be passing the 20% mark up in the top lane. Rexar versus Malthael here, as Rexar maybe losing Misha here, and that is a big win for Malthael. But they're able to get the Orphea here in the bot lane with Greymane. And Kel'Thuzad looking, can't quite get the full combo, but is able to get a couple more stacks there onto onto Johanna and Greymane. So still the full towers up here. They obviously down in health. And checking on where these Zerg coming in. So red team, it's coming into the bot lane. For the blue team, it's going through the top lane. And that at least slightly favors red, because they've already gotten this tower nearly completely dead. Actually, it is completely dead now. They got a couple more hits on it. Mal'Ganis holding on to the point, trying to gain control, as Malthael had picked up in the top. And we do have the vengeful roots here for that extra treant damage from Malfurion. But right now, just going to maintain the split between blue and red. Blue holding up on top with Lupus there. Kel'Thuzad looking again, gets Greymane brought low, but ultimately should be able to make it out. Mal'Ganis trying to catch up with the sleep, but could be in danger as the Condemned just barely missing. And Kel'Thuzad going to head back, does not have any mana left. So needs to finish that up to come back. And this is much like we saw in Sky Temple earlier, where Who Knows Gaming had prepped the middle and top forts so that they could get keep damage from their temples. We're seeing much the same here from Deviled Keggs, as their channel is continuing to grow there. Orphea getting caught by the root taken all the damage, and the dots gonna get the kill there from Gul'dan. Kel'Thuzad getting a couple more stacks here. Let's check in on those stacks. So it does have the Glacial Spike sitting at 21 out of 30. And both teams now level 7. So the Zerg coming in. Let's check in on top real quick here. So Zerg going into the wall. So Rex is going to have a little bit easier time defending that than down here in the bottom, where Who Knows Gaming has the Zerg wave coming right into this fort. And that is a dead fort. There's nothing that they can do to stop this out. But they can pause it at the wall. But we'll see how far that gets. Kel'Thuzad taking a load of damage from the Gul'dan there, the Corruption. And that's going to be the first tower down. Now, if Yurian has no mana and trying to let his team know, hey, guys, we can't go too crazy here. Rexar, meanwhile, up in the top here, having just a couple of Guardians left, but has not enough mana there, has to wait to cast Mend to Pet there on Misha to keep her going. The rest of Devil Keggs pulling back after getting the full wall down, including both towers from their Zerg wave. And ultimately, I mean, that's pretty good value from Who Knows Gaming, getting that fort. Gonna be able to get the chain onto Misha. Won't be able to get the stack, but ultimately gets the Master of the Cold Dart completed. So Kel'Thuzad now doing 75% additional spell power. We'll see how that changes things for Who Knows Gaming. Two kills to 2 kills. Both teams down on 1 fort. But it's Devil Keggs up with the XP. Basically a full level in their favor. Up top, Who Knows Gaming has their night camp going out. They're also going to send out the siege camp in the bottom lane. So they'll have a little bit of pressure on both sides, although Rexar coming in might have just scared them away. And that's surprising because they can see everybody up top. So Rexar should not be of any real considerable threat to them. But the team is going to rotate up here. Lupus on the Malthael getting very low, but Greymane going in a little too deep there under the tower. Going to get taken out by the Malthael. Ultimates here, haven't talked about those yet. So we got the Carrion Swarm, we've got the Shadow Fisher, Crushing Jaws, the Sound Barrier, and Last Right. So I like that combo, like the Crushing Jaws along with the Shadow Fisher, and then a Last Rights. Like that could pretty much just kill anybody on the side of Devil Keggs. Meanwhile, for Devil Keggs, Johanna taking the Blessed Shield. We got that Twilight Dream, the Horrify from Gul'dan. Unleash the Boars, I believe, yeah. And then for Greymane, go for the Throat. So this should be the correct version of go for the Throat. It's not the old version with the upgrade Unleashed, where you got an extra go for the Throat proc, which is absolutely bonkers. Malthael down here in the bottom, so I imagine that he's going to try to rotate in. And there's the root. We've got the Fear coming out. That's a first kill onto Orphea thanks to that. Mal'Ganis getting caught by the root. That's a second kill, and Lucio trying to speed away, uses that push off of that tower. Greymane trying to catch up and see just can he get a hold of anybody here. Kel'Thuzad getting most of the combo, but didn't have the Shadow Fisher. If he had the Shadow Fisher, that's a dead Greymane. Rexar versus Malthael here in the top. Did use the Boars earlier. We heard that announcement. So just gonna see if Malthael can sustain this. And looks like they're all done down here. So they're gonna pull back. The stun is very helpful here for Malthael. Or rather for Rexar. But Malthael able to get the Last Rights. And ultimately that gives him a stack. So it's going to allow him to come down faster. In the bottom, though, Kel'Thuzad getting taken out. Greymane going in for the kill onto Lucio with go for the throat. And looks like he's not quite done. Doesn't quite dodge the chomp. So that's going to be another kill. Greymane falling. Mal'Ganis, however, getting so very low, is able to just barely sneak away. But the channel now going over to Deviled Keggs. And Misha's sitting on the point. There's not a lot that that Malthael can do about this. Although Kel'Thuzad, you know, you have to be careful. I mentioned earlier that 75% spell power. You cannot just show up and hope that you can 1v1 the Kel'Thuzad or 3v1 the Kel'Thuzad, because if he lands a combo, you just die, which is what happened. And now the rotation from Deviled Keggs coming up. They don't have their Gul'dan, but it doesn't matter. They've got everybody else. And Malthael's gonna get the kill onto Misha with that last right, so another stack. The sound barrier just in time. Also, welcome Mark Zombie, good to see you here. Glad you could join us here. Vel'Klaw's working on the Greymane now. The Shadowfish are gonna go out, bringing Ravenex very low. And now we've got the happy little boombox there. Let's zoom in. Check out that boombox. Didn't realize it's kind of holographic, but you can see the color indicating what version of crossfade that Lucio's in, right? So you see there, it's kind of the aqua color, so that's the movement speed, and then they'll switch it over to yellow. So we'll see that. Blessed Shield going out, gets the stun. Michaelin getting caught by the Crushing Jaws, has to dodge out of the way of that Shadowfisher there. And there goes the Broccoli, soaking up shots from the tower in case that was coming in, but ultimately just taking some of the auto attacks. Vel'Klaw's coming in once again, looking for the Greymane. Greymane's going to have the last rights, and that's going to be another stack for the last rights here. Misha getting a massive stun onto 4 of Who Knows Gaming, but ultimately going to pay the price for her, for the lives of her teammates, rather, as the rest of Deviled Keggs will pull out. 68% of a Zerg wave there for Deviled Keggs, as Who Knows Gaming going to get the full 100% mark. They also head over and grab their night camp, so this will help them to defend. And you see 67% the actual number here for Deviled Keggs. So even though they were at 68%, like I said, there were those checkpoints, those breakpoints, and that's just based on what minions they have out here. So if they went a little bit harder, they would have gotten some other minions that would have provided additional value in that percentage. But it's bottom lane is the primary focus here for Who Knows Gaming. They've got the Zerg wave down here, but not a lot of siege with the Kel'Thuzad Orphea. This is really more of a team fight. There's the Crushing Jaws as well as the sound barrier here, but it's going to be Kel'Thuzad pulling off that combo, able to kill the Johanna Malfurion, falling very shortly after to the Orphea, and Greymane having to pull back as Orphea thrown out another one of those chaos boosted auto attacks. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Malthael able to clear up the Zerg wave before it even did any real significant damage to that top fort. The Kel'Thuzad taking tower shots down here is going to have to pull back. Lucio trying to heal up the Kel'Thuzad here. But that's it. And you can see how much damage, like these Reavers in the back, or Guardians rather, I think they are. Yeah, it's not. I wanted to show the health of the Guardian. Oh well. They don't have all of that much health, so if you can focus them down. Alright, let's try this. If you can focus them down, you save yourself a lot of damage between the drop pods and the additional minions that they bring. Deviled Keggs down a talent tier here, half a level. And they are going to work on their night camp, but Who Knows Gaming says we want this, so Crushing Jaws is going to come out to pretty much zone back Deviled Keggs. The root there, zoning Kel'Thuzad away from his team. And here comes Rexxar, so this is going to be an even numbers fight, although talent's still not available. Misha coming around behind, looking maybe for the Malthael. Kel'Thuzad can do kind of moderate siege damage with his Death and Decay, and we can see that doing some damage there to the wall and to the tower here. Kel'Thuzad combo coming out, looking for Rexxar, and good night. Making another kill from Kel'Thuzad, just going crazy here. Another pull onto Johanna, this time following up with Vel'Klaw's. Ravenex gonna fall to the last rights. How many stacks is that on last rights? 4 stacks on last rights. And Who Knows Gaming should be able to get this this bottom keep down. They've got the Bruiser camp with them. And pretty much a nice disengage opportunity there from Kel'Thuzad. And I kind of expect them to look for boss, maybe? Maybe not? Guess not. So instead, they're going to get on the aggressive siege camp, just like we saw last game in Sky Temple. They went to that top camp and were able to provide additional pressure in that top lane. Bruiser Camp's still... Sorry, not Bruiser Camp. Siege Camp still going here in the top lane. We'll see how the teams prioritize these control points. So Rexar sending Misha to slow things down. That should buy time for... Yeah, okay. For Devil Keggs to come up into the top lane. So only 16%. There are no other camps available other than the boss camp. Rexar going to use Misha to check that out. And pretty much just playing a little bit of ring around the rosy as both teams have level 16s now. And the knife camp available here. So Misha providing the vision here. Blessed Shield coming out from Raven X, getting the big stun. Lupus going to get feared now, is going to be taken out. No last rights opportunity this time as Lucio speeding the team out. And Orphea getting caught there in between the glacial spike, so had a little bit of maybe a miscommunication, but it ended up working out okay. They were able to get the kill on the counter kill onto Misha at least. And Greymane now gonna start the boss, and Raven X is very low on health. And this is Malfurion on a boss play. There's not much that Malfurion can do other than provide the broccoli value. But it doesn't matter, they just have so much damage. Oh my goodness, that would have been terrible if that Shadow Fisher had landed for Devil Keggs. That could have been game ending even. Speaking of game ending, we got a big catapult wave here that Gul'dan's gonna have to come back and deal with. But that's, you know what, when you have to go back and deal with catapult wave, there's really not a better time than when you've got a boss pressuring in on structures. Are we looking for a cheeky engage here? I don't think they saw the Malfurion. So, who knows? Gaming doesn't know exactly where they are, but they do now with the Blessed Shield coming out. Crushing Jaws, zoning the team back there. Raven X right up on the team. Is going to stay on this point. Has the healing penalty 50%. Keep that in mind. Shadow Fisher zoning out the team. Here come the Boars. And we've got Carrion Swarm coming up. Raven X going to fall to the last right, but so is Malthael, as well as the Lucio with the go for the throat here. Silence coming out, gonna get the kill onto Mal'Ganis, but Malfurion pays for it here. Django standing on the point, so going to pick up the camp. And the only one left alive here, Kel'Thuzad for Who Knows Gaming. And here comes the Zerg. Top lane, the fort was taken out thanks to the camp. Rexar going to be able to kill this lone minion well before it becomes a problem. But in bot lane, this is a big potential issue, right? You only have Kel'Thuzad for another 20 seconds. Not sure that there's any good way that Kel'Thuzad can get this done. Actually, that's not true. With level 20, if he takes the what's it called? The minion. Northrend something. The Damned Return. There we go. Yeah, so he now gets essentially double the Death and Decay. So his siege potential becomes huge. You can see it here. 2 circles there. If he positions it correctly. So they do lose the keep. Who Knows Gaming down now just to their 1 keep. Not entirely sure what Devil Keggs is doing. I guess they're working on level 20. And we've got Kel'Thuzad heading back. He's going to fill up on health and mana. And it looks like, you know, Who Knows Gaming saying, hey, we've got the advantage here for another 10 seconds, 15 seconds maybe. Can we get a fight while we still have level 20s? And they don't. And it's going to be over this Bruiser camp. Potentially. Devil Keggs doesn't really have the desire. They don't really need to. Which is fine. I mean, Who Knows Gaming needs to take advantage of this while they can. But here comes level 20 advantage, or level 20s now for Devil Keggs. And they've got Misha on the point. There goes the Condemn here. Massive corruption coming out onto 2 Wolf, and Loop is so very low. Greymane able to get the kill onto Malthael. But Misha and Malfurion both very low. Shinkaigen gonna sneak away that Bruiser Camp. Nobody stopped him. He just walked right into it. And is that it? Is that what we get? 1 for 1? Never mind. Malthael taking No One Can Stop Death. So it's just Malfurion remaining on the death count here. So 35 seconds, but there's nothing else to do on the map. 30 seconds until the boss, which is when Malfurion spawns. So can't even really look to do that. Malthael's going to clear up top, get that siege camp down. Still, pretty decent value getting that top tower. They're down to half. Taking the fight now while Malfurion's still dead. Johanna getting brought very low is going to be taken out there by the Mal'Ganis. Greymane having to run away. And here come the beacons. So this is a big staggered death on this Johanna. Raven X in the penalty box will have to watch for another 50 seconds as Who Knows Gaming clearing up the bottom lane, providing additional pressure down here. And it's also important to note that this is the lane where they've got their Zerg wave. Are they looking to end here? This is aggressive. They don't have a lot of siege. Like, the Kel'Thuzad is their biggest siege. They do have the damage return, so he is there. So he can do the Death and Decay. They get the pull onto Greymane. He does get away, though. Misha gonna get the last right, so that's out for 30 more seconds here. And Korb is now taking damage, so 42 down to 30. Can Kel'Thuzad finish this off? He's got the potential. Never mind, he's going to get taken out by the Greymane. Greymane diving in with the go for the throat. The Crushing Jaws coming in as Greymane continuing on, getting the kill now onto Malthael. Is he done? I don't think so. Looking, oh, Orphea falling as well. I didn't even catch that. I was behind. Greymane now going to turn around, get the kill onto Mal'Ganis, maybe? Maybe? No. No, he doesn't. Mal'Ganis putting everybody to sleep, but can't get the Johanna to sleep. And at this point now, Devil Keggs working their way over to the core and looking to see if maybe they can end this game. They do have the Gul'dan. They have the Greymane, so they have pretty significant race. Is it enough? Here comes the Gul'dan. They've already got Greymane pushing it. Rexar holding that zone, the graveyard zone, with Misha. Gonna get the stun onto Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad's gonna throw out the Shadow Fisher, missing 30%. It's looking like they may have just convincingly turned this game around. Up to about a minute ago, that looked like this game was gonna go over to Who Knows Gaming, and then they got a little aggressive trying to push in for the core, but they only kind of halfway committed to it. So that's going to be game number 2, going over to Devil Keggs. All right. Gonna get set up for game number 3 between Who Knows Gaming and Devil Keggs. Just need to get that all loaded. Let's find out, where are we going? Next game is going to be Alterac Pass. And for the first few weeks of NGS season, Alterac Pass was pretty much non-existent. Nobody wanted to play there. Almost entirely. Some divisions had a single game. Some had none. How you doing today, Mark Zombie? Hey, Mark Zombie, when are you getting married? That's coming up soon, isn't it? Isn't it like a couple months or a few months away? Okay. Get this all set up here. And I'm gonna take a quick second while the game loads. I'm gonna put up the map screen. I just need to grab a quick drink. Voice to get a little raspy. All right, there we go. All right, gonna be right back while the game loads. Put you on the maps, and I'll be right back. Alrighty then, all set up and ready to go for the game here. Let's get this going. Oh, one moment, gotta fix the sound. All right, here we go. On the left, the home team, it's Who Knows Gaming. We got Lupus64 playing Thrall. We got Murden being played by Wolf. Lucio played by Crazy Buttes. We've got Shin Kaigen on the Sylvanas. And who's playing Medivh? Let's see. Medivh played by Mizos. And over here to the right, we've got Devil Keggs, Django playing the Lunara. VZ on the Ariel. We got Michaelin on Hanzo. Raven X once again on the Johanna, and Sir Watson sitting on the Rexar again. 3 for 3 on the Rexar here, playing all 3 games. Checking out the quest talent. So level 1, we're going to have the serrated arrows. Or, I'm sorry, simple geometry. Serrated arrows is something else for his scatter arrow build here. Also going Echo of the Elements for Thrall. Don't have a level 1 for Jaina or Rexar yet, but neither of those are really quests, so no big deal there. And it's going to be Medivh versus Rexar up here in the top. So that's going to give Medivh the opportunity to stack that Master's Touch a little bit faster, potentially. Lunara versus Thrall in the bot lane. Now, checking in on Lunara, she took the natural perspective. So when she's got poison on an enemy, she'll be able to see them, reveal them for all of her team. But that does mean she doesn't have Sentinel Wisp, so she doesn't get quite the same value out of her Wisp. Like, the Wisp here in this bush does basically nothing, because it doesn't get the big burst of area that it would have if she had Sentinel Wisp. And she can pretty much already see this area, right? She can already see from here, so... Meanwhile, we got Murden hanging out in the mid as both teams working on their siege camps. And this is a pretty common standard tactic here on Alterac Pass. Picking up those siege camps, they provide eventually up to 20 armor penetration. And it cleaves. Sylvanas going into the might of the Banshee Queen, getting the additional attack speed and spell power. And here come the siege minions. Both sides now with their siege camp on the board. And you can see here, Johanna sitting at a cool -4, now a -8 penalty. But it looks like, did she go into reinforce? I think she did. Yeah, went into reinforce for the auto attacks. That'll help against Thrall primarily, some against Sylvanas. And then Sylvanas taking the possession, so that's going to help them to provide additional siege value when pushing into these lanes. So also, you know, you often see Merc Queen on this map to empower the middle siege camp, especially with that 20 armor reduction, which works on structures, by the way. Oh no, Hanzo getting the kill onto Thrall in the bot lane while I was talking about the siege in the mid lane. And you know, I was sitting here thinking, you know, you'd think that maybe they would come up and defend this with more than a Muradin, but they'd rather get a kill onto Hanzo. Fair enough. Sorry, kill on the Thrall. Prison camps now activated in the upper half. And it looks like with that kill onto Thrall, they're going to push in up top here. Meanwhile, Who Knows Gaming getting onto their siege camp again, as it's already back up. It's been plenty of time. But it's already halfway past the halfway mark here for Deviled Keggs. It's going to be very difficult now. Even with that siege camp being picked up, it's going to be difficult for Who Knows Gaming to stall this out. Johanna going in, uses that Iron Skin to pull back here. And with the reinforce, it's important to note that Johanna doesn't have that Iron Skin as often. The Stormbolt landing onto Hanzo. It also means the shield isn't as much, which means the duration is often going to be lessened as it takes less damage to destroy the shield. And then, of course, you don't have the reduced cooldown, so... But the reinforce providing the additional armor, I mean, it's what, 60? Yeah, 60 physical armor. So it's a lot of physical armor to get every time you use any ability. Raven X falling pretty low, pulls back to get that heal. And, you know, really important to watch that too, right? I mean, we saw Oriel, they called for that to happen. They're calling for the team to come back for those big heals. And you see Oriel's got a full heal or holy bar. So making use of, you know, maximizing the potential out of those heals. And does Who Knows Gaming have any way to punish that? I guess kind of with the Medivh, or I guess they could throw out a Feral Spirit from Thrall, getting a big root. The top lane still is providing some pressure here, and you can see VZ and Myclin are just saying, all right, let's go. Wrap up that cavalry so we can pull this quickly. So they'll have this on the map pretty soon. Lucio coming around to help out Medivh in the middle. That's it right now. Now Rexxar is getting started on the boss. Now this is an interesting play. Wonder if we'll see them actually continue. Yeah, I guess not. I was gonna say continue with having Rexxar kind of solo the boss. Did he take... Yeah, so he has taken kind of a build that allow him to do that. Interesting on the animal husbandry though. So we'll have to keep an eye on Rexxar. I don't believe that Rexxar's taken animal husbandry the last couple games. I suppose it's possible. So again, you know, the Wisp, no Wisp. Maybe they killed it. Let's look. It is not on cooldown. In fact, she just sent it out there to keep an eye on the boss. Siege camp coming in the mid lane here, and with the Sylvanas able to shut those down. Oriel just missing there, but it's going to be the Blessed Shield followed up by the Dragon Arrow, and now the Leaping Strikes onto the Muradin. Hanzo jumping over the tower to help secure that kill, so a double kill in favor of Deviled Keggs. All right, and with that, now Deviled Keggs is going to make their way onto the top boss. that we saw them start earlier. Now, this top boss will provide pressure toward the top fort, so they should be able to get this, maybe even just come down and pick up the cavalry while the boss is pushing. And you know what? If I'm Who Knows Gaming, maybe even just let it. That fort will get most of the boss by itself. Maybe you lose the fort, but never mind, they're going to push. Deviled Keggs is going to come in, push down this top fort. And Thrall and Lunara hanging out down below. So I kind of wonder if either of them are going to head to the prison camp. But no, Thrall's coming up top. And boss will be able to take out the fort either way, as expected. So should be able to clear it up now. But Thrall is in a bit of a forward place here. Misha trying to get the stun, but instead getting caught by Lupus's feral spirit. But now with that advantage, Lunar's going to keep pushing in the bot lane here. Not quite able to get it, but it's still close. Let's check in on Master's touch stacks. 37 out of 40, so watch Medivh here. Medivh's got to be careful. He doesn't want to die and lose those stacks. Sitting at 38 stacks now, so should be able to pretty easily get that just coming out of bird form, especially with Misha Rexar. Only got one there. So no real clear advantage, although level 13 is now up for Deviled Keggs. And they're going to keep the lane pressure up. They've got the occasional Reavers in the mid lane. And Who Knows Gaming having to having to deal with that at this point. So they're going to get their siege minions here, but the big stuns coming out. Sundering kind of counter synergy there with the Leyline Seal. Misha getting a big stun onto the team. Murden having to back away, but Lunara getting the leaping strike might not be enough to get the Medivh unless she pops that crippling spores. Let's check in. Is Medivh going to make... Oh yeah, he makes it just fine. And it's going to be Deviled Keggs with the channel here. 10 seconds left. As big root coming in, looking for the Johanna. Could have just a little bit of a slightly better angle there. Could have hit 4 heroes on the side of Deviled Keggs. But instead only got the Johanna, who was able to ultimately make it out just fine. It looks like with that, Deviled Keggs heading over to the camp. Gonna get this started, and that should give them some good pressure here going in the mid lane. They've already got that fort down, so taking out this siege camp and leaving their own to push forward should give them some value. Lucio's gonna get the channel started though for Who Knows Gaming. And Medivh keeping an eye from above. And this little grunt minion gonna try to channel this back. But it looks like ultimately Who Knows Gaming's going to pull back and give Deviled Keggs the opportunity now to claim their defense. There's the Dragon Arrow, very short range there onto Murden. Murden getting the Stormbolt, the Wailing Arrow coming about as well. Sound Barrier used, but Shinkaigen getting so very low. Does take a couple of stacks from Lunara. Crippling Spores to use there, so it's not going to be enough to kill the Sylvanas. Murden, however, getting very low. Misha's gonna fall, and Lucio having to pop that Amp It Up to get the rest of his team out and keep them alive. Although, again, the Crippling Spores did come out nearly enough to kill off the Lucio, but he's able to hit the healing well. Thrall, not so lucky, gets caught by Condemn into the Detainment Strike into the wall, and here comes the cavalry. And Deviled Keggs already has the wall down in the mid lane. What do they got in top? It'll be just about, yeah, it'll be down by the time the cavalry gets there. This is looking like a strong push here from Deviled Keggs. The leaping strike onto Wolf. And Lunara going in with the Murden jump. Nearly cost her life. Mid keep is down, and Deviled Keggs recognizing it's very difficult to win a game with only one keep down on this map. So they're going to head up to the top, make use of this cavalry up top that gives them additional movement speed and damage. and see if they can't maybe get this top 4 down. Oh my goodness, the Dragon Arrow coming out. Medivh getting caught by it. Is able to use the portal to get away. Soundberry coming out the stun again onto Thrall this time against that wall. And that's going to be another kill, this time in favor of Johanna. And Mizo's going to get caught by the Hanzo. Another jump snipe combo from this Hanzo. Sylvana's going to get caught by the Rexar, and Muradin falling as well. Django going to be taken out by the core, but I don't know that it matters. Lucio trying to see what he can do. And oh yeah, by the way, Resurrect's a thing, so Lunar is coming right back. Core sitting at 50% health and falling quickly, and it looks like Devil Keggs going to wrap this one up. Oh, Lucio coming in just saying, hey, let me help out my KDA. And game number 3 in this best of 3 series gonna go over to Devil Keggs. Pretty handily. 1 kill to 10. I guess the Misha in there counted as an extra half. Lucio getting one of those. Sylvanas getting another. All right, so 2-1 in favor of Devil Keggs. Let's take a look and see how did these teams end up in the standings at the end of the season. Well, Devil Keggs coming in at number 5. Who Knows Gaming at number 6. They couldn't have been closer in the standings. In fact, they were so close that they were tied. This match that we just watched was ultimately the deciding factor on who traveled through which bracket in the playoffs. So that left Who Knows Gaming to face against Lurk Patrol, Devil Keggs against Soak Every Lane. If I remember correctly, I think Devil Keggs won their matchup, and Lurk Patrol won the matchup against Who Knows Gaming. And then I think both of those teams ended up losing to You Are Not Alone, if I remember correctly. So there you go. And I was originally planning to do a third matchup, but it's just after midnight. My voice is getting really raspy, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do it tonight. But I am planning to come back. I've got a couple that I need to do tomorrow, so probably going to start that in the early afternoon. Don't forget, tomorrow night we've got the NGS Mead Hall. I believe at 9 p.m. I will talk slowly so that I can stall out for timing on that. It is, yes, 9 p.m. tomorrow night, Sunday, Eastern at Nexus Gaming Series. Also, don't forget tonight is daylight savings time, so spring ahead. In just a couple hours. In 2 hours, it's going to be 3 o'clock. Yeah. So there you go. So I hope everybody enjoyed the cast. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And if you're watching this from the future, just remember, I don't know, something about the past. Today is March. What's today? March 7th, originally, when we were casting this. And there you go. Hopefully the coronavirus has not obliterated humanity by the time that people are trying to watch this video. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll catch you later.